Ted Bundy, a name synonymous with evil, a charming face hiding a depraved mind. But what created this monster? Was there a darkness in his beginnings? Ted Bundy's early life held no obvious answers. Born Theodore Robert Cowell in 1946 Vermont, his early years were unremarkable. Raised by his grandparents, young Ted seemed like a normal child. He was even described as shy and quiet. There were no outward signs of the horror he would unleash. Bundy's teenage years offered some hints of trouble. His introverted nature sometimes gave way to outbursts of anger. He seemed to enjoy peering into other people's windows, a voyeuristic tendency that would later become a hallmark of his crimes. Still, these were but whispers of the storm brewing within. No one could have predicted the monster he would become. The 1970s arrived, and with them, Bundy's true nature emerged. His killing spree began, shrouded in secrecy and fueled by a darkness that defied comprehension. His victims, mostly young women, bore a striking resemblance to one another. Attractive, with long dark hair parted down the middle, they became his targets. Bundy's first confirmed kill was in 1974. He was living in Washington state then. A young woman named Linda Ann Healy vanished from her apartment. She was last seen talking to a man with his arm in a sling. This would become a recurring theme in Bundy's gruesome story. His methods were chillingly efficient. He would often feign injury or impersonate authority figures to gain his victims' trust. He would lure them to secluded areas, trap them, and then unleash his brutality. His crimes weren't just about murder, they were about domination, control, and the perverse pleasure he derived from inflicting pain. The Pacific Northwest would never be the same. As Bundy's reign of terror continued, his crimes escalated in their depravity. He became bolder, more brazen. His hunting ground expanded beyond Washington, his bloodlust spilling across state lines. He left a trail of bodies from Oregon to Colorado, Utah to Idaho. Bundy was a chameleon, changing his appearance, using aliases, and driving stolen vehicles to avoid detection. This made him a nightmare for law enforcement. He was a ghost, seemingly everywhere and nowhere at the same time. He would often revisit his victims' bodies, applying makeup and engaging in necrophilia. This gruesome detail added another layer of horror to his crimes. His crimes shocked the nation. Fear gripped communities as the body count rose. The elusive Bundy became a national obsession. The FBI was now involved, connecting the dots between seemingly isolated murders. A massive manhunt was underway, but would it be enough to stop this cunning predator? Section 4. A Trail of Clues. The investigation and capture of Ted Bundy. The net began to close in on Bundy in 1975. A routine traffic stop in Utah led to his arrest. Inside his vehicle, police found suspicious items: a crowbar, handcuffs, and a ski mask. He was charged with kidnapping and attempted murder. But this was only the beginning. While awaiting trial in Colorado, Bundy managed to escape. Twice. He used his knowledge of the law, his charisma, and his sheer cunning to slip through the cracks. He fled to Florida, assuming a new identity and resuming his murderous spree. However, Bundy's luck was running out. In 1978, he was arrested again after a string of brutal attacks in Florida. This time, the evidence was overwhelming. Witnesses came forward, forensic evidence linked him to the crimes. The charming mask began to slip, revealing the monster beneath. His days of terror were finally over. Section 5. Justice is served. Bundy's trials and sentencing. Bundy's trials were media sensations. Cameras captured his chillingly calm demeanor. He relished the attention, even representing himself in court. He proclaimed his innocence, but the evidence against him was insurmountable. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence. Eyewitness accounts, forensic analysis, and even Bundy's own words, recorded during jailhouse conversations, painted a damning picture. The jury found him guilty on multiple counts of murder. He was sentenced to death. Even on death row, Bundy continued to manipulate and deceive. He confessed to more murders, as if trying to bargain for his life. He gave chilling details of his crimes, revealing the depths of his depravity. But his attempts to delay the inevitable were futile. Justice would be served. Section 6. Bundy's Legacy, a Dark Shadow on America. Ted Bundy was executed in Florida's electric chair in 1989. His death brought a sense of relief to a nation he had terrorized for over a decade. But his crimes left an indelible mark on America's psyche. Bundy shattered the myth of the stereotypical serial killer. He was charismatic, educated, and seemingly normal. He proved that evil could lurk behind the most unassuming facades. His case led to advancements in criminal profiling and forensic science. Law enforcement agencies began to understand the psychology of serial killers like never before. Today, Ted Bundy remains a chilling reminder of the darkness that can reside within seemingly ordinary individuals. His case continues to fascinate and horrify, serving as a stark warning about the monsters that can hide in plain sight.